Welcome back to Shum's Universe. So today, guys, I want to go over that you have to become your life path number in order to achieve success. So what I mean by that, guys, is like you have to actually become your life path number very directly, and I don't know how to over illustrate that. When you look at things like astrology, you look at things like your sun sign, your moon sign, your rising sign, you get all this stuff that's in your face, and you have to now figure out how to decipher it, how to define it, how to put it in the right context, how to interpret it in the right way. Numerology I like because it's a lot more direct and it tells you exactly what you need to do. So the whole point of me doing these numerology videos for the last since the last week of 2024 till now, when it came to like your life path compound numbers in accordance with Chaldean numerology, is because you have to understand what life path number you have in order to understand the traits you should be undertaking. What you need to understand about your life path number is that it's trying to forge you into somebody. So the faster you become that way is the more success you're going to have faster. So when you're a life path number 1, for instance, and let's say you're codependent, you live with your parents, you have to use common sense here, guys. If you're like 15, 16 watching my videos, like, don't worry, stay at home. But like, let's say you're older, right? You're living at home, you're not income independent, your credit's bad, you don't have a vehicle, you're relying on people for different things. You're going to fail in life, and life path 1 is going to crush you. You're going to face karmic debt for not achieving your life path as well. So the universe is going to hate you pretty much. So what you have to understand is that you have a karmic duty no matter what life path you have to achieve a certain given amount of traits that's going to enable you to then become successful in what you're doing. So I'll give you guys the archetypes today, but like if you want to know the exact compound number you have, add up your birthday, and then look at the compound number that's before the single digit. So if you're like a 17/8, like myself, then look at like my video that talks about 17/8 very specifically, which is coming up just now. So understand that you're going to be your life path, the singularity of it, that archetype is that's your pinnacle of success. So the more you can get to that embodiment is the faster you're going to have good results in your life as a whole. But the slower you are to do that for that transformation is the harder your life is going to be as a whole. So it's really as common sense as that. Life path 1, I already kind of went over it a little bit. The archetype of it is that you should be independent, you should be a pioneer or a leader. So what that means is either you're bringing something new to the field, like a corporation, the marketplace as a whole, or you're like a leader, meaning like you're in a corporate situation, but you're the CEO, you're the general manager, district manager, what have you. You're in a position of authority and you're taking responsibility for everything in your life. You're the person that's most accountable. When you're a life path 1 and you start developing, I guess what they'd say is masculine traits, the traits of the sun, everything revolves around you. You then take accountability for everything that happens around you, and in turn, you control your reality. It's really that simple. As a life path 2, 2s, you're meant to be, no matter whether you're a man or a woman, you have to have certain feminine traits, and there's nothing wrong with that. 2s are actually more durable than 1s in hard times. People don't realize that. 1s actually will break when their ego's stabbed. They completely crumble. 2s are like the oak tree. They'll bend, but they don't break. So their emotions allow them to conquer where other people can't. 2 is extremely powerful. The feminine energy is actually extremely powerful, and it's what creates the universe. So again, you need to understand the context behind things. Masculine and feminine doesn't mean strong, weak. They both have different strengths in different ways. The feminine now is patient, cooperative, diplomatic. So this is what brings people together. This is what forges things and brings it together and creates. So as a 2, you should be focusing on becoming a person that's very sociable, very much into interpersonal dynamics, understanding things like psychology, and then learning how you can work in one-on-one relationships to then create a career for yourself, or in turn heal people to a certain extent. So you're meant to provide value to the marketplace or to people or to your community. 2s are helpers, but they can also be billionaire helpers, because the people that solve problems in society get paid in equal amounts to what they've solved, equivalent. Look at like a Jeff Bezos, not saying he's a 2, but he made Amazon, which in turn provided value to the marketplace, and he is paid billions because of that. He made what was before a very hard ordeal to send one package from one place to the next. He made that very easy. He made it very easy for people to market their products. He made it an entrepreneurial route for billions of people around the world. So in turn, he's the middleman in that and gets paid for it. It's as simple as that. That's the traits of the 2, though. He's a 6, I believe, himself, and he's definitely embodied that, which I'll get into in another video. The 3 is the child, they say. The 3 is a prodigy. Every life path 3 I've met, whether they know it or not, has been given the opportunity to be a prodigy, whether it be in like athleticism, some sort of creative arts, what have you. Like, you guys all are good at something, extremely good, and people will like tell you like, yo, you're good at that, you're good at that, you do that. You got to usually figure it out. It's in athleticism, creative arts. Some threes, I'm not going to lie, C's the third letter, crime. You guys can do that too. I'm not saying that's going to be a karmic blessing, that's for sure. But you guys are always like quite proficient in something. And threes, what I've noticed, are proficient in usually like sales and marketing. So like doing like marketing for a company or selling a product or a service. Creative arts like dancing, singing, music, social media, or politics too. Very influential people, very much charismatic. And then athleticism, meaning any sort of sport, or like MMA, soccer, basketball, football, golf, tennis, badminton, volleyball, whatever. You guys are good at all that stuff. Like, usually you guys are good at one of these things, and that can make you rich, but also more importantly famous. You guys are meant to garner attention based off of your skill set. So you got to figure out what your skill set is as a three, and then how you garner attention from it. It's as simple as that. You're Jupiter, you're meant to expand. You should always be expanding your network, your vocabulary, your income. All these things are meant to be expansive. You need to actually take on the traits of the planet associated with your number, and your number, which is the representation of that planet anyways. So you need to take advantage of the power of the three and always be expanding and growing, whether that be in a mental capacity or in a social or financial way. Number 4 is the square. It's the safe one. 4 is Rahu, north node of the moon. Very much not into their feelings. As a 4, you have to be very stoic. Like, you have to take on the traits of the 4, which is considered to be very resolute, very organized, very persistent, and very stoic. And 4 is a secret wealth number. You go on the keyboard, as I've always said in other videos, you do shift 4, and it's the dollar sign, every keyboard. There's a universal reason for that, because it takes hard work to make money. You should be the hardest working person in your job. You should be the hardest working person in your family. You should be the hardest working person in your friendship group. As a 4, you should be the person that's known for working the hardest. And if you do that, whether you're a 13 over 4, 22 over 4, you'll be more successful than everybody else. I'm just giving you guys the archetypes today. I'm not going into compounds at all. So if you're a 4, you count yourself as a 22. I'm counting you as 4 today. You got to be the hardest working person around you in order to have the most influence and get the life that you want. It's really as simple as that. I'm giving you guys the most direct answer today. If you guys can understand what I'm saying in this video, not to over toot my own horn, but you can change your life with this. Never buy a reading from me, never buy a reading from anybody else, and you can change your life just with the information I'm providing you right now. Take your life path more seriously. Life path 5. 5 is meant to teach people how to be fast, speed, and fearless. Mercury is represented with the 5. It's the governor of the 5. Mercury, I always say this as well, goes around the sun 51 times. The earth does once. People with 5, you guys are meant to make money fast. You guys are meant to accumulate information quickly, speak quickly, walk quickly. You guys should be the embodiment of speed. And if you actually embody speed in the right way, you'll then actually find success. Be like, okay, what idea do I have? How fast am I implementing it? Usually you guys are naturally like that anyways. I know other numerologists are going to say, well, 5's the beauty number, or the travel number. Like, that's so cliche. Your only way you're traveling and living that fast life, having high sexual indulgences or recreational activities like going to the club, basketball games, etc., is if you have the money to do it. So you have to find your freedom through the discipline, and then you have to also be doing the things that people wouldn't dare to do by being fearless. So I don't mean being fearless as in like you have to naturally lack fear, but you have to be the embodiment of a person that does. So even when something's scary or a bit of a risk, you have to be that person that's saying, I'm going to be courageous and get this done anyways. I'm going to be that person that's going to go against the crowd, be unorthodox, and get things done. It's as simple as that. 6. 6 is considered the healer in the family. If you're a 6, a lot of mafia leaders are 6. People don't realize that. A lot of gang leaders, because that's considered a family too. So 6 can develop cults, family, organizations. Jeff Bezos made Amazon. You're bringing things together as a 6. 6 is an extremely powerful number. 6 is also a number of timeliness. There's 60 seconds in a minute, 60 minutes in an hour, and then you get 24 hours in a day, which is all 666. So what you have with 6 is the first and most important thing you should look at is, how do I manage my time as a 6? The next thing you need to look at if you're a 6 is it's Venus. You're meant to be very aesthetically pleasing. You need to make sure your body, whether you're a man or a woman, is the most aesthetically pleasing version of yourself possible. So you should be, quite frankly, like sexy. You got to be that person that actually looks extremely good. If you're a guy, whatever cultural background you have, like you already know with us black people, it's all about drip, like having designer on, having the nicest gear, having the nicest car, having the nicest backgrounds, best food. As a 6, you're meant to live a quality life. Everybody is, but this is a very profound thing for you guys. You guys are meant to experience this. This is what your number wants from you, is to live high quality life. In order for you guys to live high quality life, you have to manage your time correctly. When you manage your time correctly, you put things towards having that high quality life. Getting a good income. Incomes for you guys would be real estate, because that's the home, has to do with family. Family law, so lawyers that deal with family law very specifically. You guys will make millions to billions from that. And then you can do things in the creative art space as well. Just like the 3, you guys are very proficient with music, with arts, with writing, singing, even speaking in general. Very, very strong for you guys. You guys can make a lot of money with that. And last but not least, like I said, it's the family and the healing number. So anything to do with healing, therapeutics, being a medical professional of any sort, surgeon, chiropractor, physiotherapist, psychiatrist, all that stuff falls under the healing. You guys can do that quite proficiently, definitely as well. Next, we have number 7. 7's meant to be the master. People are going to say, oh, 7's the loner, it's spiritual. It's meant to be the master. In order for you to master something, you have to isolate. So you have to be lonely. 7's don't get lonely. I'm May 25th. I don't get lonely. So if you're a 7, you need to understand that you're going to be lonely in life at a certain time. To get things done, you have to isolate. In order to isolate, you need to figure out, what am I focusing on? Do I want to be a good day trader? Do I want to be a martial art master? Do I want to be an engineer? Do I want to be the best coder in the world? What do you want to be the best at in the world as a 7? You're meant to be here for more than money, more than just intellect, and you're meant to be the master at something. So when people label you, when they point at you, they're like, yeah, that's John, that's Jill, that's Jen, that's whoever, that's Shem. He or she is a master at this. That's the best you can find. So even if you guys choose to be a doctor, scientist, whatever, soccer player, you guys could do anything you want, but your mind should allow you to go into it and dissect it down to the most minuscule molecule, to the point where you guys are the best at it. Nobody can beat you. Nobody can even be beside you, even compare themselves to you. You have to be like Muhammad Ali, LifePath 7, right? Nobody can compare themselves to him when it comes to boxing. He did things that everybody tries to emulate now, put your hands down, doing the signature moves, talking cocky. All this stuff is Muhammad Ali, right? Mayweather, all these guys are knockoff Muhammad Ali's. All of them. Mike Tyson, all of them. So that's a debatable subject. Don't comment on that, please. But you guys get what I mean. The 7, you're meant to be a master. You're not meant to be somebody that's just here learning things frivolously, reading fictional books because you're smart. You're meant to actually be a master. And the more you focus on being a master, the more successful your life will be. Number 8, this can be the most debatable one of all. I know you LifePath 8s are waiting for this. You're going to be like, what does it mean? LifePath 8, you're meant to get the money. You're meant to have good karma. You're meant to live righteously. But moreover than that, F the money. I'm joking. You're meant for self-actualization. All these other numerologists I'm noticing, I'm not going to name them. You guys already know who I'm talking about. If you're an 8, get the bag. We all have to get the bag, bro. You're not just going to be an 8 and have to get the bag. I think if you're a 7, you still have bills, or a 6, or a 5, or a 3, or a 2, or a 1, or 9. You're going to have bills. So as an 8, what you have to actually focus on is, what is the most self-actualized version of myself possible? 8 is Saturn. Saturn is discipline. Saturn is all about perseverance and discipline more than anything else. What is the most disciplined version of myself? So no matter what cultural background you're in, no matter who you are, what is the most disciplined version? Do I have any addictions? How do I cut them out? Do I not show up to time to things? How do I cut that out? Do I work out every day? All of these things matter a lot. These are things I have to work on too. I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, I'm the perfect person. I'm definitely not. But what I'm saying is, you have to be the type of person that says, what is the most self-actualized version of myself? And the bridge to become the most self-actualized version is discipline. So you don't have to care about money, any of that stuff, spirituality, nothing. You're an 8. Leave that to 7s, leave that to 2s. What you have to worry about is, what is the most self-actualized version? That's your spiritual evolution in this lifetime, this reincarnation. When you figure out what's the most self-actualized version of myself, you then become the most disciplined version of yourself, and you automatically find success. I don't think there needs to be any more clarification on that whatsoever. If you do that, trust me, you'll be successful. You're going to get the riches of the 8, the spiritual understanding that comes with it, because you're going to be in touch with karma. Because the more you self-actualize, the more good karma comes your way. And the more good karma comes your way means more abundance, which means more money. And then you have other numerologists come say, well, he's an 8, so he gets money. No, he's self-actualized, so he got money. Right? So that's how it goes. Or she gets money, excuse me. Females for LifePath, they get it in for sure. Richest people, look them up. August 17th, especially for 8s. you guys get money like crazy. Crazy. There's like a German chancellor. I forget her name right now. Like one of the richest women in the world. I think she's like a double eight. Last but not least, we have LifePath 9. LifePath 9 is known as ideological, and it's known as the most adaptive number by far. When you add anything to 9, it becomes that number. You multiply anything by 9, it becomes the 9. So like Bruce Lee said as a November 27th, baby, he said you can flow or you can crash like the water, right? Water can flow or it can crash. That's a very good analogy for 9s. You got to figure out in your environment, you actually have a dichotomy and a binary decision. That's the only number I say actually has 2 decisions they can make. You can either adapt to your environment just by simply becoming it, or you can be like the water and crash through the floodgates and then change your environment. Decide based on where you are right now as a 9. Do I want to adapt to this environment based off where I am? Is it the pinnacle of success? Are you in Washington? Or are you on Wall Street where you can just become a good politician or become a stockbroker, be a billionaire? Or are you in the ghetto? Are you in an economic decline place? Are you in a place of poverty or impoverished people or people that have low energy? People that will bring you down. If you're there, then you have to change that environment. You got to change it and flip it on its head, either by you moving from there and changing your environment, or you by actually physically changing your environment by becoming somebody powerful enough to change it. That's a very widespread answer, but if you actually can put that to your life and attribute it, and then follow the videos I have based off the compound number that you are, whether you're an 18 over 9, 27 over 9, 36 over 9, 45 over 9, if you're able to interpret these things properly, you'll then start taking in what you're supposed to be doing. But as a 9, the archetype, you have 2 options: adapt to the environment or change it. Simple as that. So that does conclude my video for today, guys. If you have any questions for me, just leave it in the comment section. Aside from that, like, subscribe. Holla at me. It's it for today, guys. Peace.